Welcome back. This is day 17 of building a 3D printing business. Yesterday, we proved that the photos worked. Today is about what comes next. Turning those photos into a listing structure. An Etsy listing is not the same as an Amazon listing, and that's not the same as an eBay listing. So instead of pretending that there's one universal format, I'm going to be walking you through one platform today, Etsy, and show how I'm structuring a listing for this product. The product I photographed is a bathroom organizer / toothbrush holder. At the end of the day, it's a cup. But how it's described and positioned matters. Someone might search for a toothbrush holder, a bathroom cup, or a countertop organizer. This is where people usually get stuck. They either don't know what to write, or they write something generic that isn't how people actually search. This is where a relatively new technology can greatly impact your ability to list and accurately describe a product online. It's called a large language model, or LLM. Most people refer to it as AI. Opinions vary on this topic, and that's fair. Today, we'll be showing how to properly use it to help simplify and expedite the listing process for a new product. So now that the photos are done, this is the next logical step. And I want to make clear up front, what I'm about to show is very basic. If you've sold online before, none of this is groundbreaking. But there are two reasons why I'm showing it anyway. First, this is the first time that I'm bringing AI into the process of this channel. Not as a novelty, but as a tool to help organize information and move faster. And second, if someone just found this channel and they didn't even know how a 3D printed listing works, from the last few episodes, they've received it all. From conception, print, photos, and listing. Very simple, very elementary, and on purpose. Okay guys, so here we go. We have Etsy up under create a new listing, and I have my simple prompt here for ChatGPT. You can always pause it and read it, but it's very simple in nature to try to get the information that we would want to get generated. So now go ahead and paste the prompt, insert it. Now this isn't going to always spit out the most optimized item descriptions and listings and titles, but it definitely gives you a basis to start from. So I'm going to copy this information, spit it out down here. So now that we have it here, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm going to review it just to make sure it all sounds correct, but it understands this platform's listing requirements, and it's able to meet that process and speed it up much quicker than if I were to have typed everything out word for word. And then as I review it, I'll make sure it's all correct to make sure that the listing is true and accurate. If I were listing on Amazon or eBay or any other of the platforms, the structure would be different. The value here is that I can come back to this AI and say, okay, now adapt this for Amazon, or now adapt this for eBay, and it'll create the outline or the bulk. Again, if I were to sit here and, type all of this up, it probably would have, would have spent 30, 45 minutes. I literally had this generated in 10 seconds, and I do have to proofread it. I do have to make sure I like it and it makes sense, but it cuts out a bunch of the back end. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this information added. Category, I'm gonna call it a toothbrush holder. Okay, so we have that. Continue. Now these are all Etsy's general prompts. This is a physical item. Who made it? I did. It is a finished product. I'm going to put made to order. You can change this around, if you are keeping some stock. For iteration purposes, I'm going to do made to order. Now you have a couple different, how does your shop produce this item? The correct one for this type of product is it's made from scratch. What tools? Computerized, because it was 3D printed. We'll click continue. So now we have our baseline. Let's see, title. So let's see what the title was. It's right here, which I like. Everything seems great. Okay. Drag and drop file. So now we're going to do the photo, which again, I would have many more photos to add. As you can see, you can add quite a bit, which is good for search results and also to articulate what the actual product is. For this purpose, we're just going to do one. Thumbnails looks good. Okay, now description. So basically, I did prompt it again. Please generate an Etsy style title, description, and 13 tags optimize for Etsy search. So it has some access to analytics that will help with kind of an SEO, search engine optimization. It's not going to be 100% dialed in. This is something that is fluid. It is something that isn't as simple as this. But again, this is going to get you a good portion of the way there, where your refinement process is not going to be as long. And that's what I'm looking for. This is one product. Say I saved 30 minutes by typing all this up. What does that look like with 50 to 100 products, right? A lot of time is saved by having the majority done. So we'll copy the description, which I liked as well. There is, some randomness here that I would want to edit. So we'll get that. Put that over here. It even kind of safeguards you a bit by putting this disclaimer in, which is very good to put in, especially with a PLA 3D printed item. So for this one, again, this is arbitrary. This is not, an actual number. But I think 385, we would cut the original 2-pack listing in half. We'll just call it 385. This one would be a quantity of 1. Allow restock, yes. All right. Variations, you can do different colors, which I would do if this was a product I was selling. I would basically create a few different variations for it. Physical item category already has it saved for you. Materials, let's go ahead and do PLA. Primary color is white. No secondary style. We'll go off of the description and listing. We'll call it the minimalist. Now tags, you will have to do these one by one, which I'll do a couple of them just to show it. It doesn't like that input. Add. Okay. Materials, PLA, processing. I already have some basic ones set up. This is my made to order. Shipping option. Again, I have a generic profile. And then item weight, I have at 5 ounces. The item size, not boxed, basically with its protective material. Would be 4 by 3 by 3. So that is done. I would adopt the standard return and exchange policy. Do none of that, none of that. Now, all you would have to do at this point is click publish. Yeah, and it even says right here, One factor risks lowering the listing search visibility, not enough photos or videos, which I would recommend. We'll do skip and continue. Non-refundable. Great. Okay. So there we go. Successfully updated. So this listing is live. Okay. So then if we go to view on Etsy, here is our listing. Very simple, very elementary. Now I am going to take this listing down because I do not intend on selling this product right now. But for demonstration purposes, there you guys go. The last few days, we went from concept, printing, packaging, photography, and now something is online for people to purchase. All right, so let's go ahead and... All right, perfect. So now that is off. So now the entire loop exists. The product exists, the photos exist, and the listing structure exists. Nothing is optimized, nothing is finished. That's intentional. The goal today wasn't to sell anything. It was to show how accessible the process actually is. From an idea to a physical product to something that can actually exist on a marketplace. That context matters. The last few days have been about setup and structure. Photos, listings, workflow. Tomorrow, I want to switch gears and stress test the farm. Same product, multiple iterations, full build plates. Not to optimize anything, but to see what the actual system does under a full load. That's day 17. I'll continue to document this step by step. Subscribe if you want to follow the build. I'll see you guys tomorrow.